I am able to quickly change my work habits. I am able to find the freedom, to find the space for our marriage and change things overnight because I am in charge and I am running the show.
I'm Patrice Washington, and this is the Redefining Wealth podcast, where authenticity leads to alignment and abundance. Join us each week as we peel back the layers on what wealth truly means and dive into conversations that inspire, connect, and empower you to live your richest life. Get ready to challenge the status quo. It's time to redefine wealth for yourself. Hey there. Welcome back to another episode of Redefining Wealth with me, Patrice Washington. You know, something I'm really clear about as we end our Give Voice to Truth series or theme of this month is that me telling my story has always been about how it could be a blessing to others. It was never really to become a full-blown platform or a business or something that I built a brand around. But oh my gosh, what a blessing to take something that may have been originally designed, I don't know, to hurt or harm me and use it as something that is heavily impacting people all over the world. Just earlier this month, we were launching Command the Stage, and that's my speaker training program. And I ended up feeling led to offer a scholarship. And we had people apply for that scholarship from everywhere across this globe. I'm talking from Canada to the Czech Republic, from Philadelphia to the Philippines. I mean, from Boston to, I don't even know. Like, I am just so excited. Oh, actually, I do know, from Boston to Barbados. Listen to that. It all started with me just being willing to tell my story because that story could be of service. And then the ability for me to turn that service into a platform and a business that could help people while just doing good for me and doing good for them, doing good for you. And I thought we would round out this series by introducing you or maybe reintroducing you to my good girlfriend, Amy Porterfield, because that's what she's helped so many people do. Once folks get clear about their own truth and possibly the process that they had to endure to create the results they now have, I think it's a natural byproduct that you start to want to help other people with it. At least that's how I felt. So Amy's going to talk to us about that today, and you will be blown away by her story. Here's her bio. Amy Porterfield is an online marketing expert and the host of the top-ranked podcast, Online Marketing Made Easy. Before building a multi-million-dollar digital course business, Amy worked with mega brands like Harley-Davidson and peak performance coach Tony Robbins, where she oversaw the content team and collaborated on groundbreaking online marketing campaigns. Through her best-selling courses and popular podcast, Amy's action-by-action approach proves that even the newest online entrepreneurs can bypass the overwhelm and instead generate exciting momentum as they build a business they love. And I'm going to add, as they build a business rooted in service to others. After the affirmation of the week, the next thing you'll hear is my conversation with my friend in real life, Amy Porterfield. This week's affirmation is, my story has the power to be of service to others. My story carries a powerful purpose, serving as a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. Every experience, whether joy or pain, has shaped me into a vessel of wisdom and empathy. And I trust that when I share my journey, it will uplift, encourage, and guide those who need it the most. I embrace the truth that it is okay for my service to others to produce wealth for me, as my abundance is a reflection of the value I offer to this world. With an open heart, I honor the exchange of energy that allows me to thrive while making a meaningful impact. Each chapter of my life is a testimony to resilience, growth, and the power of transformation. And I offer the steps that I have learned to others. And I do so with love, knowing that it supports both my purpose and their journey. Say with me today, my story has the power to be of service to others. Welcome back to the Redefining Wealth podcast, Amy.
Well, thanks so much for having me, my friend. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, I am so glad that you are here. This could not be more perfectly timed. So let me catch you up.
Okay.
We have been doing in this community for this entire month a series called Give Voice to Truth. That's been our theme. And there's something that, based on what I see you have going on out there, I invited you to come and speak to us because I really believe that once someone can stand in their own truth, a really great next step once you've learned to overcome something is offering that type of support to others.
Yes.
And I don't know anyone who does that better when it comes to, I really think putting that story and that messaging, but really the big takeaways that you've gotten from your own story, packaging it up in a way that would be of service to others. So you are the queen of digital courses, but I want to know, what about you giving voice to your own truth led you into the digital course creation space?
Ooh, I could probably think of a few, but going way back. So I've been in my own business for 15 years. And before that, I was in corporate. And the truth that I needed to give voice to is that I was so tired of having a boss and being told what to do. If I get really dramatic, I could go way back to when I was growing up. My dad was the boss. It was his way or the highway. And I was very clear on that. And so he always told me what to do. And I was a good girl and I did it. And then I got into the work world and I tend to have a lot of male bosses, but even female bosses, but I was always being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And finally something clicked in me and I realized the truth is I want to call the shots. I feel like I'm being called to lead. I feel like I can create something and be creative in my own right and design a life by my own terms. And something stirred in me. You could call it God, the universe, whatever you want. Right here, we're going to call it God. And I knew it was time to step up. So my truth was I wanted to find my own path. I wanted to call the shots. And that's when I got into my own business and quickly decided I wanted to teach marketing. I wanted to do it in digital courses. So I started that pretty early on.
So, you know what's so interesting about that? When I was feeling that call, so my audience already knows I always talk about Miss Boynton's anointing. So let me break that down for you.
I need some detail.
So Miss Boynton was my first grade teacher. And when I was in first grade, I was the person who loved to raise my hand to answer all the questions. I know this surprises you deeply, Amy, but so I always wanted to raise my hands, answer the questions. And I would be frustrated if she didn't call on me. And then one day I put my head down. I was so mad that she didn't call on me. And Miss Boynton said, Patrice Cunningham, you stay in for recess. I need to speak with you. And so at recess, she keeps me back and she says, listen, I understand that you have the answers, but what good is it for you to have all the answers if your friends don't know?
Ooh.
When you know something, you have a responsibility to share it with friends. And Miss Boynton passed that on to me, which is why even as some of my moments of frustration, like you just talked about in the workplace, but for me, it was when I lost everything and ended up on the bathroom floor. You know my stories.
Oh, yeah.
Falling, crying, snotting. When I did come out of that with this sense of, oh, I should help people, it was Miss Boynton's voice. It was that idea that man, I know something that I need to pass along to people. So the thing is, though, Amy, it would be years before I would actually see myself as a teacher.
Yeah.
I really started my business way back in 2011, 2012. And for years, I just wanted to be talent. I never wanted to be the teacher. Do you see that happen in this space where sometimes we don't think that we actually have what it takes to teach the things?
Absolutely. Because I teach people how to take their knowledge and know-how and turn that into a digital course. One of the first things that comes up is, wait, I'm not a teacher. I don't have enough knowledge or know-how to put it in a course and teach somebody else. I just know it for me. And so seeing yourself as a teacher for the first time is a little bit jarring for some people because they're on a path maybe to be a speaker on stage. And so they don't even see that as teaching. I do. Or doing it for others, coaching, consulting. I see it all as priming yourself to get ready to teach inside of a course where you can go one to many. But yeah, actually saying, wait a second, I could teach this. That is a hurdle some people need to get over.
So how do we start to get over the hurdle though,
Yeah.
when you don't see yourself in that light? And I'll say for myself too, I actually had a friend when I first said that I wanted to do a course. Because mind you, I have been in this for years and
Yeah.
never had any group coaching programs, any courses, nothing. And I had a friend that said to me, like, you're better off just doing your television stuff. And
Wow.
that planted a seed that would prolong me from actually creating my own program for probably 2 years,
Ooh.
because there was a moment there, a long moment, almost 2 years, where I actually internalized that and believed it and just always saw other people out there doing courses and programs and just didn't think it was for me.
Oh, yeah. That could definitely stop you in your tracks. So to answer your question, I want you to look at it in two ways. The first thing is that to get over that hurdle of seeing yourself as a teacher, you got to get really clear on what you want. And if you're building a business, if you're starting a platform, what is it that you want? And a lot of us, we want to get our message out there. We want to serve people in a big way, but it also could be about, I want freedom. I want to create something so that I could pick my kids up at school at any time, 3 o'clock, whatever it is, and be present for them. I want to set my own hours. And so I need to find something that will allow me to set my own hours, or I want to make more money. So I need to find that thing that's going to allow me to do that, but while also having the freedom. So getting clear about what you want is the first thing. And understanding that a digital course that you teach in could actually get you there, or just teaching in any way could get you there. Because the other side of it, getting clear on what you want, the other side of it is getting clear on how you can serve. And if you start to teach, the beautiful thing is you start to do one to many. And you get out there in such a big way so that you're serving more people and you're helping them overcome something or move forward or just having a solution for something they're stuck with. So if you think about yourself and others, you could start to see that teaching will allow you to take advantage of both of those places.
That's so good. Like when I think back to when I finally got started, it was because of Reagan. It was because I realized that most of how I was making money in my business was, first of all, waiting to be chosen by someone.
Ooh.
That's the thing about being a speaker and a media personality. There are seasons where you're not the hot girl, where you're not the it girl. Somebody else comes along with a better book, and now everyone is turning their attention to them. And having to really have a theme for a year, it was, I choose me. Because I didn't want to sit on the sidelines anymore, waiting to be chosen by others. Girl.
That's so good. I just need to take a moment for that. I've never talked about it in that way, and I will, and I'll start to give you credit for that. But with a digital course that you teach inside and you get to market, you are not waiting to be chosen. There is so much power in that.
Girl, it changed everything. So that was the first thing. It was like I went through this little season where all of a sudden I was playing this waiting game where people were deciding if they would go with me, and that I would get the last minute call to go to New York and film Dr. Oz, or get the last minute call. And I'm like, okay, but who were you entertaining before this, right? That made you call me the night before. And so that's a real thing that I think many of us experience as thought leaders or media personalities or whatever it is that you do in your work. And then the second thing was Reagan was going to middle school. Mm-hmm. And it was the reality that she was going to be gone quickly. Yeah. My baby was growing up. And I needed to create a life and business that did not require me to always be gone and always be on the road going from city to city to city. And that was the catalyst. It was 2018. So I just said I started in 2011, 2012, 6 years before I actually said, okay, I'm going to launch a group coaching program. I'm going to do a digital course and have one-to-many access. And it changed my life. It changed my daughter's life. It literally gave me so much time freedom. It revolutionized my business. I literally look back and think to myself, why did you wait so long?
Okay. I love that you shared this. I want to share something that is way too early for me to share because it just happened, but I haven't talked about this anywhere else, Patrice. And that is that I'm in a really busy season of my business. You know how you go through the busy seasons, the more quiet seasons. I'm in a very busy season. And my husband is retired. When we moved to Nashville from California, he retired as a firefighter. So I am the main breadwinner. And so recently I've been working longer hours than I'd like to admit, knowing it's a season. However, my husband and I have great communication, and I'm so blessed with that. And he came to me recently and said, I don't feel like a priority, and I know it's your busy season, but I need to share this with you because I just don't want this to get away from us. I'm starting to feel frustrated or resentful. And that was like, my marriage is my most important thing in my life. And it scared me a little bit. Now, why I share this recently happened. Why I share this is because I have digital courses as the main thing in my business, because that is the foundation. I am able to quickly change my work habits. I am able to find the freedom, to find the space for our marriage and change things overnight because I am in charge and I am running the show. And I have courses that I don't have to travel anywhere to make a living. So tiny tweaks and I can get back on track with my priorities. I've never shared that before. And I've had these moments with Hobie, like he always kind of has to reel me back in, and I appreciate it. Not always, but it happens. But how quickly I can get back on track with something that's important to me because of the business and the life I've created.
Oh, that is so good. And I think it's so important because a lot of people, I serve mostly women here, you know that. And we know that sometimes they call it the ambition penalty, right? So we're really ambitious. We get excited about our work. We are like so heads down in it, and we're seeing the results and seeing how it is supporting other people out there. And it can get away from you really quickly. And sometimes that's a part of the fear of success. Sometimes we don't want to pursue the things because we think, oh my gosh, it's going to take over my family and my relationship and my priorities in life, my pillars. And then what good is the money, right? But I love that you made that distinction because that's important. I'm with Hobie. I want you to have your people pillar in order.
Exactly. And if I had a different type of career that kept me on the road, or I was answering to someone else, I wouldn't be able to change things overnight in order to get my priorities back in check. That is really powerful. So I'm glad that you support that as well.
Yeah, that's so good. Every time I think about what it will take to up-level the courses that I provide, whether that's Command the Stage, Purpose to Platform, Pillar Mastery, any of it, the courses that have literally sustained redefining wealth through the pandemic and even now, the first person that I think about is my girl, Amy Porterfield. This girl has leveraged courses to create millions and millions of dollars while impacting hundreds of thousands of people. And right now she's doing a boot camp called Course Confident. It's a live boot camp to get digital course clarity, attract your audience, and show up with confidence online. If I had to start all over again from scratch, I would have started my courses sooner, quicker, faster. It literally took me 5 years in building my business to realize the power of creating a digital course. So if you're a newbie or you are looking to create more time freedom and scale and increase your ability to serve, I don't know anyone better to teach you this than Amy Porterfield. I literally text her every time I can to get her support. So I want you to join me. I'm going to be a part of Course Confident this year as well. Go to patricewashington.com/Amy to get the link. It is an incredible boot camp and you don't want to miss this. Do it with me and other purpose chasers. It's patricewashington.com/Amy. Okay, Amy, talk to me because you've now helped how many people with their digital courses?
90,000 students over 15 years and $100 million in revenue.
My mouth is open, you guys. You couldn't see that. Amy just had to stare at whatever cavity I may have back. No, I'm kidding.
I thought that screen was frozen. I literally thought it was frozen just now.
90,000 people. Like we can single-handedly, I think, credit you with the industry. Like you have pretty much been a part of the journey of so many of us who are in the industry. That's wild. Yeah. Okay. So what are you seeing as maybe like top 2 or 3 limiting beliefs that people may have about their ability to create a digital course using their voice, just using who they are, what they know now, and their truth. What are you seeing?
Okay, I love this question. So first of all, imposter syndrome is literally at the top. And we know that this never goes away. I'm 15 years in. I still experience it from time to time. But when it comes to a course, that idea, can I put myself up front? Can I really teach what I know? Who am I to be teaching this? Like, here's an example. One of my students, Kelly, she was a lawyer, and she was a lawyer for many, many years. And while she was a lawyer, she created this odd time management system for herself. And it was a little quirky, a little different, but she created it for herself and it worked like gangbusters for her as a lawyer. And so other people started asking, how are you doing this? And she started teaching it to them. And she realized, wait a second, I have a course in this. Now she could say, who am I to teach this? This is a weird, quirky system I created really for myself. I can't put this in a course and have thousands of people see it. She didn't think that though. She probably did initially, but then realized, wait a second. I want to move away from being a lawyer. She wanted a different kind of life. In order to get what I want, I'm going to have to put myself out there. So she put this quirky time management system out there. $213,000 later, as she learned to launch and learned to get out there, she realized, wait a second, I've done it. But I can promise you the first thought she had was, who am I to be teaching this? That is a very normal thought, especially for women. But here's the thing. You've got to catch those thoughts right away and realize, wait a second, I'm not available for thoughts like that. I need to absolutely choose a different thought that's going to serve me. So it might be, look, I'm going to take imperfect action and serve those that are in my community because I know what they need and I can help them. We're not doing it perfectly, right? Imperfect action. So catch that thought and change it into something that's going to serve you. I know that seems so trivial. I promise you.
It's huge.
Okay. Thank you. Like I have to do it daily. Catch those thoughts.
Yes. Do you know, I tell this story that when I got up off that bathroom floor and I was feeling this tug, like, oh, you need to share with people. Miss Boynton's anointing. You need to share with people. The very next thought was, you are broke. This is like the worst season you have ever experienced. Who are you to share? And I'm so grateful that I captured that thought. As you said it, like I took hold of it, because the next thought I had was, you lost all your money, but your mind isn't bad. You lost your money, but you still know what you know. And then on top of that, you still have a heart to serve. You still are motivated to be impactful. You still are a light worker and you have something to share. And I am so grateful that, yes, the imposter syndrome. Listen, I was broke as a joke. I had just ran down and chased the power man with my baby on my hip, begging them to turn the lights back on. I was riding dirty, meaning no car insurance in the state of Louisiana. Like all the things that would not equal up to me being someone who should have a blog or should start writing for magazines or should start radio or any of those things. I was not fully out of the things. I was actually very much in the thick of it. But I will say this, something that I'm sure you guys have heard me say on the podcast over and over again. I believe in sloppy progress, and you call it take imperfect action. And here we say sloppy progress. Same
I like
principle.
that better.
Same principle, right? The thing is, I have learned, Amy, you don't need to be a perfect 10 to be of service to humanity, to the people that you are assigned to. Because even what you know today, right? Even if there's all these things that you desire to be excellent at and you have it all down, the reality is if today you're a 5, there are 1 through 4s who need you.
Yes. Thank you.
Right?
Okay. I call that the 10% edge. I teach this in my programs where all you need to do is be 10% ahead of those you serve and know how to get the results and say, hey, follow me. I've got this. I've done this before. It's the 10% edge. And that actually leads into the next thing. A lot of people don't create the courses because they think they're not ready. I need more certification. I need more education. I need more experience. I need more time. No, you are ready now. If you do exactly what Patrice just said, wait, what is your saying?
You don't have to be a perfect 10 or sloppy progress.
Sloppy progress. Yes. Just get started. There are people in my community who launched their very first course, and they made 5 or 6 figures. And I promise you, the only difference between them and you right now, those listening, is that they started. They started very sloppy, but they started. Their first launch, maybe like I told you, Kelly, for the time management, she only sold 5 in her first launch, but then she kept going and going with the same course, just making it better. That's how she got to 200K and higher. So that is so, so important.
Yeah. Even that whole thing for me about like, well, you're not a teacher. You just need to be talent. And then I realized, well, people kept asking me, how did you get on stage? Like, how have you become such a powerful speaker? Even doing your virtual summit, which I've done now twice, I think, and I'm going to do it again this fall, I believe. So many people from your community have reached out and said, you were so captivating virtually. How do you do that? Right. And I used to think like, oh, command the stage, I have this thing. Well, when I finally gave myself permission to do it, we've enrolled over 400 people. The first cohort was 20 people. And now we've enrolled over 400 people in Command the Stage. And when I first did Purpose the Platform, my first cohort was 25 people. I think our largest was like 200 people. But it's the sloppy progress. It's the using what you have based on where you are and then going, what did I like? What did I not like? What would I tweak? What would I adjust? What's the feedback from the first cohort? How can I leverage that feedback to make it better and better? But you have to get started. We don't know by staying on the sidelines.
Absolutely. Action creates clarity. We will not have the clarity of where we need to go and what direction until we get started. I wanted to throw in one more thing that usually stops people in their tracks. It's a limiting belief that my audience is too small. I don't have a big email list. I don't have a big social media following. So I should wait until I grow it. And then I'll think about creating my next thing, whether it be a course, a membership, a mastermind, whatever it is. Do not wait. I can tell you story after story after story of people that have created digital courses with success with small email list. Anna, 500 people on her email list, $30,000 launch. Another one of my students, he created a course during COVID. He had 100 people on his email list and he made $12,000. Rob Green. Like I could tell you more and more stories, but here's what I really want you to hear. When you launch, when you promote something, every time you do that, your email list gets a little bit bigger. Your social media following gets more engaged and bigger. So when you launch it again, you have more people to sell to. So let's just say you only sell 5 the first time out. Now you know how to launch. Now you know what it takes. We're going to make it bigger and better and do it next time. Because the secret to digital courses, at least how I teach them, is we're creating one digital course and then we're launching it over and over again, whether you do automated, live, whatever you want, but one course. Because what slows people down from building a sustainable business is they're always starting from scratch. They're always starting new. And that is not the way you grow a business. So one course that you don't keep creating over and over again is what will get you the kind of revenue and impact you're looking for.
Oh, that's so good. I love that. That definitely has been something that I had to learn too. Is just like stick to the things that you already do well, especially because once you start to get the testimonials, that just helps build the case to other people. And I can't imagine how many testimonials you have, Amy, with 90,000 students. You have to teach me about how to even organize that.
We have a whole system.
Oh my God. I can't find half of our testimonials. I'm always like, where is it now? What was it called?
Patrice, I did a whole podcast episode on testimonial processes. So I'm going to have to send it your way. It's a thing.
Friend, you're going to change my life. You guys, Amy is like the go-to person for any of this stuff. And I'm so grateful that she's a text away from me.
That is true.
Can I be honest with you? I really don't believe anything changes in those pillars until you are willing to take radical action. And sometimes that means you have to get out of the comfort zone that is your house right now. I want to invite you to Redefining Wealth Live. Take radical action and come and join me live in person, October 6th through 8th, because this is going to be a transformative experience like no other. This is not a business conference, so we're not loading this with all the how-tos and to-dos and just strategy. This is about your soul. soul. Redefining Wealth Live is a vibrant gathering of spirit-led, like-hearted purpose chasers who come together to awaken, redefine, and actualize wealth in every area of their lives. The goal is to move you from autopilot to authenticity. So I want you to picture yourself leaving, not just inspired, but transformed. In our deeply connected community, we go beyond talking. We collaborate, we apply actionable insights, we work on our scripts, we get in our wisdom circles and really talk about our individual next steps. This is an unparalleled connection. There is clarity and confidence in that room that you want to apply to your life. You need this in order to bring your vision to life. So this is the room you want to be in, October 6th through 8th. I want to invite you to go to redefiningwealthlive.com right now to secure your spot. That's redefiningwealthlive.com right now. And when you do, you'll have access to our next bonus co-created connection call where you can learn from me well before the event and also start to connect with other attendees. You don't want to miss this. redefiningwealthlive.com. So speaking of systems, Amy, I know that's something that I would assume may hold people back. It's definitely something that helped me back. And my audience knows that I used to say all the time, I'm doing better, but I used to say all the time, well, I'm not techie. Mm-hmm. Do you find that people being afraid of technology might be like a barrier to them starting?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's fair because we didn't learn this stuff in school. And if you're anywhere near me in your 40s, we learned square dancing in school, not how to use any kind of software or technology. And so hopefully they're getting better in schools to kind of experience more. But the thing is, we didn't learn this. And so of course it's going to be new. And here's what's hard. Let's say you're an expert at what you do. Let's say you're a financial expert or a relationship expert. You feel really good in that. But then when it comes to, let's say, creating a course and having to set up your course platform, all of a sudden you feel like a newbie. And what will stop you in your tracks is telling yourself, you should know this. You've been at it for a while. You're an expert in XYZ. Why don't you know this? No, you shouldn't. This is new. Even if you're an expert, this is new. Allow yourself to be new in all the technology. But here's what I'll tell you. People that get into my world, we have to make it as simple as possible because I don't want that slowing them down. And also, Here's the coolest thing. This wasn't 15 years ago when I started, but today the technology has gotten so sophisticated that it's easier and there's more features in one piece of technology. So you don't have to have 10 or 20 like I used to have. So it's just gotten a lot easier. And believe me, you can figure it out.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I know even 10 years ago, girl, we were bubble gumming and tape,
right?
Duct taping things together. And now there is so much out there that's a one-stop shop.
Yes.
And with certain tools, you can make things talk. But man, I remember the days of duct taping 10 different things together.
Where we walked to school uphill both ways. Yes. I remember those days.
In the snow in California.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so Amy, you have something really cool coming up, and I really wanted to introduce my audience to this because, like I said, we've been talking all month about giving voice to truth, and I launched Command the Stage this month. It's been incredible. We're already rocking and rolling, but I know that as you start to build your voice and speak with more power, more clarity, more boldness, that is the perfect opportunity to lead people into how you can serve them more deeply. And I don't know anyone better than you to talk about what that looks like from the course perspective. So I'm teaching people how to command the stage. And then in your boot camp, I
am teaching people how to get started with a digital course. And the boot camp is called Course Confident, to find confidence in finding your topic that's going to work for you. How much would you charge? What could this look like for your revenue? How to find an audience that wants to buy your course. What type of course do you want to create? There's actually 4 types that I get into in the bootcamp, and then you decide. The decisions will get you into action, and then you can get started feeling like I'm doing it the right way. I think a lot of people don't create a course because they don't even know how to get started, and that's why I created the bootcamp. Here's what's cool. It's live, but also recorded. I'm in there every single day. I'm the teacher. So I get to know people. I get to answer questions, get in there with them. And also, it's literally the cheapest thing I offer all year. and I do it only once a year. So it's such a great Kickstarter, and you'll be surrounded by other people who want to get started with their course as well.
Oh, this is going to be so good. And I actually attended, I don't remember if it was like last year or maybe 2 years ago. I was blown away. First of all, you mentioned me in one of your slides, but anyway.
Yes, I do.
But I was so blown away by just the content and how efficient you are. I want to also learn from your efficiency friend, because you know I like to talk. How efficient you are and all the ahas. Like, I was in the chat with everyone else like, oh my gosh. And as someone who had already been doing digital courses and group coaching programs, I was learning so much doing it a couple years ago. So I'm going to be in there too.
Can't wait.
Super excited. I know we get to choose our own dates, but you guys, I'm going to drop all of the information in my show notes. And you can definitely go to patricewashington.com/Amy to sign up for the boot camp. I wanted to keep it easy. So patricewashington.com/AMY. Amy, what do you hope people will take away from attending the boot camp? What's that one big thing?
I hope that they will get clarity on what it is they want for their business, for their life, how they want to design it. And I hope they see how a digital course will allow them to get to that type of freedom a whole lot faster. And also feel confident in the fact that, yes, you have a topic that you can teach and people need it. So that's what we're going to focus on.
Well, and my big takeaway is that I want you to be able to live your life's purpose, find fulfillment, and earn more without ever chasing money. And so it's important to me that I introduce you to resources that allow you to do that. I know from coaching my own clients that many of you give up way too soon just because you're not clear and you're not confident yet about how to actually express your voice and express your gifts, express your expertise in the marketplace. And I know that having courses have absolutely revolutionized my life. It has absolutely changed my life for the better. Gave me the freedom, the time freedom and flexibility to spend time with Reagan over these years. Now she's a senior in high school, which is wild.
I cannot believe that.
So crazy, but it's also added so much to our bottom line and allowed me to choose myself. I'm still grateful to get called on to do television and media and all those things. But if I never got called again, I'm really excited that I could build a community around my courses and really still help people and serve people because I say so, not because someone else is saying whether I can have eyeballs on me or not. And I want the same for you guys. So Amy, I'm so excited. I'm going to see you in one of those live sessions, friends.
I'll see you soon, my friend.
And Purpose Chasers, when you attend Amy's boot camp, Course Confident, it's at patricewashington.com/Amy. Make sure as soon as you get in the chat, you let her know that you are a purpose chaser.
Yes.
I need us to represent. I need you to say, Patrice Washington sent me. And if I come up in them slides, you better cheer.
I love it. Absolutely. Done deal.
You guys, I'm so excited. Thank you for joining me for this entire month, which has been all about how to give voice to your truth. When we can give voice to our truth, then we can truly operate in our purpose. And that's what Redefining Wealth is all about. So until next week, again, I want you to go live your life's purpose, find fulfillment, and earn more without ever chasing money. We'll talk to you later.